Hello and welcome to my comedy segments video. In this one I will be doing some amusing stories that you can guess whether they are true or false. So it's a nice summery day here in the UK and I had some friends that went away to Centre Parks. I couldn't go because I was working. Somebody has to. And as usual, any kind of lads, they go away, they come back and they've got a gloat about it. So I had to sit there one Saturday afternoon and listen to my three friends talk about how wonderful their vacation was. And sure, they had a nice log cabin, they had a jacuzzi pool. And then one of them said, well, the only problem was our jacuzzi wasn't working. I said, what do you mean it wasn't working? He said, well, you could still use the pool, but there were no jets. The jets weren't working. I said, so you had a jacuzzi pool without jets in it? He said, yeah. I said, so basically you all had a bath together. And the three of them sat there and looked at each other sort of, did we just have a bath together? Did we go on holiday and have a bath together? And the smugness and the cockiness drained from their faces. Of course, I'm just sitting there like this. And inside I'm secretly going, and they never talk about it now. They haven't talked about their Centre Parks trip for several weeks. Now, I don't go out of my way to ruin everybody or ruin everything, although I did very nearly ruin my brother's wedding. Not my fault, I was only about 9 or 10 at the time, and he wanted to get married in a big traditional English church. I don't know why, he just wanted one of the big full church weddings. Him and his wife decided that's what they wanted to have. And one day the phone rang and it was the vicar of the church. And bearing in mind, I was about 8 or 9. And I picked up the phone and said, hello, can I ask who's calling? And he said, oh, it's the vicar. And without thinking about it, without hesitation, I turned round and said, oh, hello, Vic, how's God? And everybody in the kitchen fell to the floor laughing. My brother had to crawl hands and knees all the way into the front room where I was to grab the phone, and he couldn't stand up to speak. He had to literally stay slumped on the floor trying to speak to the vicar to sort out these wedding arrangements. Again, wasn't my fault. The wedding went ahead, and as such we all had to go and get measured for suits. Now this is something that was quite different. We'd never had suits for a wedding before, and we went to probably the most poshest tailor shop in our town. And the gentleman there spoke very, very well. It was a good afternoon, sirs. How can I help you today? And we said, oh, we've come to get measured up for suits for the wedding. He's like, oh, very good, sirs. Please come this way. So we had to follow him into the fitting room area. And my brother opted to go first. Now, bearing in mind, we're not posh people, so we've got no idea about what he's talking about. So he's measuring my brother's arms and legs and chest. And then he said to my brother, what side do you dress, sir? And my brother sort of stands there. What side do I dress? And as any child would do when they don't know what's going on, he looked to his parent for advice. And he looks to my father, and my father looks back at him. And my father, in his true, uncanny way, said, he means what side you put your cock, boy? And I'm pretty sure that the tailor that was doing the measuring had a stroke right there on the spot. Nearly fell on the floor. Excuse the noise, that's an arsehole going by with a noisy motorbike. Prick. And speaking of suit malfunctions, I think it was about a year ago now. It was the bleak midwinter. Bleak midwinter. Freezing cold outside, and one of the local nightclubs decided they were going to do it's like a summer-themed party. And me and my mate decided we were going to go along in snorkeling gear. So we had the flippers, we had the snorkel, we had the goggles, we had the wetsuit. And we toned it off to this nightclub with it. And they'd done a really good job in the nightclub. It was all decked out. You had heating lamps to make it seem nice. There was a sandy area. There was little tiki bars, palm trees. All the lights were going. It was nice. It looked really good. And we started off like anybody. We'd go to the bar, start having drinks. And on about our third trip to the bar, the barmaid says, I like your outfits, boys, but how do you go to the toilet? And there it was, this moment of realisation of, yeah, how are we going to go to the toilet? And we take our drinks and go and sit down, and my mate says, look, don't worry, it's fine. I think we can hold it. We're not going to need to go. It'll be fine. We'll just, it'll be okay. And I said, okay, we'll see how things go. What's the worst that could happen? Well, an hour later, and I couldn't hold it any longer. I tell you what, I went bursting down to the toilet, and you have not seen the look of fear on a guy's face until you've run out to him, grabbed him by the arms, and said, "Dear God, unzip me!" So that's it for this week's comedy segment. I hope you enjoyed it. By all means, leave a like if you want to. And do tell me in the comments which stories you thought were true and which ones you thought were false. Thanks again.